Adam here, and in this video, I just want to show a quick comparison between DraftKings and FanDuel salaries, see if there are some edges or things, maybe some players that we're missing out. Again, this is uh, pitting DraftKings and FanDuel salaries against each other because I trust their pricing, and when there's a huge discrepancy between the two sites, that might give us an edge and maybe help us look in places that we weren't necessarily looking. There's always some caveats, things that maybe we can talk about. But basically, what I did was I took both of the CSVs. You can download the CSVs of the player salaries, merged them with a little script I wrote. It took me like 30 minutes to write the script, and lo and behold, I can show you side by side the DK salary, the FanDuel salary. Obviously, with FanDuel, you get a $10,000 more in salary, so I need to do a DK equivalent salary, which is just this divided by or times 5/6. And then we show the advantages and it'll make it self-evident. Normally I have like a cool little PowerPoint I show with this. I just don't have time. And I haven't been doing this for weeks because I don't have time to do the PowerPoint. And I thought I at least can show you the Excel file. So let's start at quarterback. And, basically what I do is I'll show position and then I'll sort by the DK advantage. I typically play on DraftKings. I don't think I won't play on FanDuel just because I don't have time on Sunday mornings. But we can show you the differences, right? And you can decide for yourself if these are good plays on DraftKings or if they're bad plays on FanDuel. Like either way, that's the cool thing about this data. So let's get into this. I'm going to remove the salaries, the low price salary guys, just to make it easy. I might miss a few guys, like I'll probably miss the Rams quarterback. And you can see from a quarterback standpoint, Ryan Tannehill actually looks. When you look at the prices side by side, it makes sense when you sort by their advantage. Like, oh, he priced Tannehill at 7,100, and he's 5,400 on DraftKings. That's very interesting. So there are some interesting plays here. I've kind of already picked my quarterback pool, but this was very interesting. I may revisit Tannehill. I probably won't, but that's a very interesting fact that he is this much on FanDuel, and that's a significant discount. Again, relatively speaking, on DK. Maybe the answer here is I won't play him on FanDuel because he's just too overpriced. That's the whole point of the data, right? The data is supposed to help you make a decision about things. Burrow looks very good. I will be playing a lot of Burrow, especially with I think Jamar Chase is ruled out finally, or it's probably going to be ruled out. Tom Brady is a very interesting play, getting a lot of hype, by the way. There's some other interesting Mariota, interesting play. I wasn't considering Mariota. This is very interesting. This is cool stuff, right? And then if you scroll down to the bottom here, you can see who the bad plays are on DraftKings, or conversely, the good plays on FanDuel. And this one really sticks out to me because I'm interested in Lamar Jackson, but the fact that he's only 8,200 in FanDuel makes me think, is he just overpriced in DraftKings? He seems like a really good FanDuel play, but yeah, well, there you go. I'm not playing Deshaun Watson since he's still suspended. And then you've got some of these higher priced quarterbacks. Generally speaking, in FanDuel, the higher priced quarterbacks are discounted on FanDuel, and the lower priced quarterbacks are discounted on DraftKings. Just kind of the way the bands work between the two sites. It's just kind of how they do their pricing. So let's move over to running back. And running back, same thing. I'll sort by DK advantage here. And I'll get rid of some of the like 4K salaries. I'm not going to play J.K. Dobbins. I think he's playing. That was a joke, by the way. He's not playing. I'll get rid of some of these. Maybe I'll start 4,900 and just see where the advantages are. So typically in FanDuel, they overprice or in DraftKings, they overprice the running backs. And so to see any advantage at all on any running back in DraftKings is significant. You'll see that here, right? You'll see most of the DraftKings has almost no advantage. And then, almost all of them are advantage from a salary perspective on FanDuel, which is very interesting. You should always play some running backs on FanDuel, even in GPPs. It's just no brainer in my opinion. But look at this. Like these are the two that are discounted. They're actually discounted on DraftKings and pretty significant in my opinion. This is a really, really big deal. And these are the two highest owned running backs on the slate, most likely. And I think for good reason. I think the price is just way too low. FanDuel, they're probably good plays also. But the fact that you're getting a discount, you're not getting a discount, you're paying a premium compared to FanDuel for these other running backs, just makes it very clear these two are very good plays. Not Fournette. He's not. That's why Rashad White's such a good play. Latavius Murray. So these two are interesting to me also. I was planning on playing Latavius Murray, but not Deontay Foreman. This is going to make me revisit that. I might end up playing. He's like coming under 5%. I may play like 6 or 7%, or even with the field. Ken Walker seems like a good play. I don't like playing Ken Walker because he doesn't get targeted in the passing game, but to each his own. He's, again, fairly priced comparatively. And then, of course, if you look at the bad running backs, these kind of make sense. Eckler and Kamara, half PPR scoring. They're going to have a higher average, fantasy points per game in DraftKings versus FanDuel. These make sense. This one's a very interesting play for me. I feel like if you're playing FanDuel, this is a really good price for Nick Chubb. I know Tampa Bay's a good defense, but just looking at the price, I'm like, oh, this makes sense. DraftKings is going to be hard to get to. It just is in the slate. So that's running backs in a nutshell. Again, we could go through all of them, but we just don't have time. Do wide receiver real quick. Switch over to wide receiver, sort, and then adjust. Make sure I adjust add all salaries. Resort here. And then we'll get rid of the low guys. I know there's some that are actually worth playing here in this range, like Greg Dortch, for instance, if he's playing. But we'll just kind of do the turbo mode of this. And if I look at the DK advantage, these are very interesting. So DeAndre Carter, 5,900 on FanDuel. I feel like this is overpriced, and this feels okay. I know he's going to be on the field quite a bit against Arizona. That sounds pretty good. These two are very interesting to me. Nico College and Chris Moore. They are relatively lower priced on DK compared to FanDuel. What this is telling me, and I know this seems like it's going to be kind of a weird take, is I plan on playing all my 2 stacks with Houston bringbacks. Maybe I just have too much faith in Kyle Allen. I'm a weirdo like that. But I kind of felt like doing that. And then when I see these price discrepancies, I'm very inclined to play a bringback. I will be playing Brandon Cookson's bringbacks, but I'll probably be playing Nico Collins quite a bit. I'm not sure about Chris Moore yet, but I'll be playing one of those two for sure, Cooks and Nico Collins, and maybe sprinkle a little Chris Moore in my bringbacks. But that's how I will differentiate in my Tua stacks. I will be bringing it back with a Houston player in every roster. Again, you don't have to like that. It's fine. Just don't do it. MVS is a good play. Made me rethink this. I thought MVS was blech, but 4K is actually pretty good. Treylon Burks, he's getting ownership in DraftKings, and kind of rightly so. This felt too cheap, and then when you see the FanDuel price, it makes sense. Garrett Wilson, same thing. Julio Jones. I'll be playing Julio Jones in my Tom Brady stacks. 4K though. I mean, it's such a good price. Even if he only gets like 5 or 6 targets. DPJ is a good play. Most of the cheap guys will be discounted on DK, and most of the expensive guys will be discounted on FanDuel. So if you scroll to the bottom here, you'll actually see the prices. The players that are better on FanDuel, like a Deebo Samuel who may not play. Tyreek, this is very interesting. The Tyreek play, only 9,200. I feel like he gets lots of yards. Like I know he gets catches. I feel like he gets lots of yards. This feels like an interesting play on FanDuel. I'm playing these guys, both Devontae and Tyreek. I'm playing them on DraftKings. If you're playing FanDuel, this seems like a steal. It absolutely feels like a steal. So maybe these are the 2 guys I would be thinking about specifically. Obviously, like D-Hop feels pretty good. Ayuk's an interesting play. Okay, that's wide receiver in a nutshell. Let's go over to tight end, and open all the salaries. Let's remove like the cheap guys and sort by largest to smallest. And you'll see there's some very interesting. Tight end's weird in DraftKings or in FanDuel because I think the min salary is like 4,500. So you're gonna always get a significant discount on all the cheap guys. And generally speaking, you're gonna get a discount in FanDuel on the expensive guys. What it generally tells me is don't play the cheap guys in FanDuel. Just play the medium guys. Like George Kittle feels really good. George Kittle at 6,200 versus, a 5K Austin Hooper. Why would you spend the extra salary? That's generally how I feel about this. But to each his own on when it comes to tight ends. I don't get a lot of information comparing DraftKings and FanDuel because of that min price of, again, I think it's 4,500 for tight ends on FanDuel. But you can see some of the price discrepancies here. Kelsey's seems like a very good price here at 8,200 for FanDuel. I don't think you should play Darren Waller, just an FYI. Hopefully you got the sarcasm there. And then DST has some very interesting plays today, or for this week. And let me see if I can do this right. Position, get all the salaries back, and then sort. So DraftKings or for DST, there's a reason why Kansas City defense is like 30% protected ownership on DK. I think FanDuel, I don't know if they come up with the prices later, but they accounted for this. And so you can see this is actually a really interesting play on FanDuel. I wonder how much ownership is going to be there because it's so highly priced. But check this out, 2,800. There's a reason why you're getting a significant discount between the two sites. The Jets also seem very popular. This is a very interesting play to me, the Jaguars. I was not thinking about the Jaguars D. This is I'm probably going to be playing them some. I don't typically pay a lot of attention to defense, but I'll make sure I have some Jaguars defense at 2,500. I think that's a really interesting low-owned cheap option. No one wants to play them probably, and just it's a really interesting, I think, contrarian option. I haven't seen the ownership on defenses. And then of course Saints look good. Saints look good. Rams are the Rams. I don't know if I want to play the Rams. You can. They can get a return touchdown and score you. Even though if Kansas City scores 40 points, they can still score you. I don't know 4 or 5. So these are some of the high discounted prices on DraftKings. And if you come to the bottom here, this is a very interesting play for FanDuel. The Broncos defense seems reasonably priced, I think, on DraftKings at 3,800. So the fact that you can get them for 3,900 in FanDuel it feels like a steal to me. Absolutely does. And then the Bengals also. I feel like this is just overpriced. So this is probably more reasonably priced. That's just my opinion on it. But again, that's what the data shows. You can disagree and do what you want with it. That's what's cool about this data. So here are some of the better defenses better price defenses for FanDuel comparatively. And that'll do it. I think that's pretty much it. Again, just looking at the data and the statistics, feel free to pause the video to see some of it. I know I ran through it a little bit fast, but I'm trying to get through it a little bit fast and keep it short. So hope this was helpful information. Again, something that I don't think anyone's doing. And the goal is to get the data out there so that you can see it and make decisions from it. And seeing the comparison between the two sites has been really profitable for me, kind of verifying some of the things I've already thought or helping me see things I hadn't seen before leading up to the slate. So hope this information was helpful and have a great evening and good luck tomorrow.